This is the Committee on Legislative Affairs and Elections. This is Monday, February 3rd, 2014. We're at 6:30 p.m. I have Councilor Simonelli. I have Councilor John Hanlon. I have Councilor Peter Napolitano. I have Councilor Cynthia Sani. And I have Councilor Joe McGonigal.
Here.
We have 5 members present. We do have a quorum. The first piece of business, this is an order offered by Councilor John F. Hanlon to amend City Council Rule 7.5, the executive session, by deleting the last 9 words and under the advice of the city solicitor's office.
I think someone had mentioned the fact that we may need them, but if we do need them, we can always call them in. It doesn't have to be there that we need to call them in on every single time that we want to go into executive session, which may only be 2 or 3 times a year anyway. So I just don't think we need that as part of our rules.
I kind of, any questions on the sign?
I'd like
Council
to
sign.
invite up Melissa Murphy, the mayor's chief of staff, and ask her a question on this. I'd just like to know your opinion on this, because this is talking about not having a attorney or city solicitor at an executive session. Is that was intent?
My understanding of the way that was drafted is that you would ask the advice of the city solicitor before you go into executive session. These guys are all asking you to ask the advice of the city solicitor based on the attorney general's advice. Is there any reason why you can't go into executive session often?
Chairman, I really don't, still I don't see the need for having a city solicitor at our meetings to tell us whether we can and whether we cannot go into executive session. So I'm still making that recommendation that we do not need the city solicitor. If they're not available, they usually always are, but if not available, we have to wait until we get someone's permission to go into executive session, and I don't think that should be. I don't believe we've ever gotten in trouble in the past 40 years about going into executive session. So I don't think it's needed now.
Do we make a motion?
Motion to favorable action to exclude that.
Okay. Second?
Councilor Hanlon, Mr. Chairman, so I understand what he's trying to do.
Yeah, sure.
I see Rule 7.5 here. Which one is it, John?
I don't have it in front of me. It's the one that says that we need to, when we go into executive session.
Okay, the city council.
We have it, we got page 13 of the council rules. You got your,
I kind of disagree. I think we should have a decision by the city solicitor, or always have an attorney present representing us, and making sure nothing is being done illegally or anything being said that shouldn't be said. So I'm not in favor of deleting the last 9 words to remove the advice of a city solicitor. I think we need that in there to cover us.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Anything else?
There's only 10 reasons why you can go into executive session anyway. They're pretty clearly spelled out. And if it's not there, you can't go into executive session. That's it, period. So I just don't see the need to waste the time to have the city solicitors bearing down our neck all the time that we make a decision on anything, so.
okay.
Mr. Chairman,
No.
so I understand, so Counsel Hannon, you feel that we don't need the city solicitor in executive session, or to have us have the right to go into executive session? Okay. Then I agree with that. I understand it. That's what he's looking for, Ms. Murphy? Okay. I mean, it's very seldom called, Mr. Chairman, but it is used. Myself, Mr. Chairman, I would always ask for advice from the city solicitor, you know what I mean? But I don't have a problem with it.
From the chair, may I kind of agree with this. Like I say, if we need to use the city solicitor, we can always call him. I mean, if we like the decision, if we need him for help, and then so I'm kind of for this to delete the that part on it, and if we need to use him, we can use him. I mean, we're going to call him in anyway, so I don't think he needs to be, go through him. We are a body together, and I think we can make our own decisions. So, I'll you want to make a motion to delete? Favorable action? Ayes or not? The ayes have it. All in favor? Yeah. Opposed? Okay. So we got three. Our motion passed. It's been adopted. Number one. Clerk, read number two, please.
Item number 2, this is an order up by Council John F. Hanlon to amend City Council Rule 17A by deleting the last 15 words and inserting in place thereof the words be placed on the maintenance request section of the City Council agenda.
Council Hannon. John, excuse me. Council Hannon, please turn your microphone on, please.
Has this rule changed at all? It says, all maintenance requests shall have been first reported to the mayor's office prior to appearing in the business calendar. I think that all maintenance requests should be placed on the maintenance request section of the city council. That's what I wanted to change. So I don't think our request to have something go on the calendar needs any approval by anybody else in the council. I don't think it has to go to the mayor's office to be approved. I don't think it has to be handled by them before it's handled by us. Whatever we do with it, we just send it on to the department. If the department says no, then we bring it into the mayor's office, or we put it on as a resolution on the calendar. So, I mean, for us to want to fix a sidewalk, or cut a tree, or do a bush, or empty a barrel, whatever it happens to be, it has to go to the mayor's office? I don't think so. Why should he be even bothered with that kind of stuff? So just the fact that we want to, we have a maintenance request. How long has that maintenance request been working in the city? For years. I don't see anything wrong with it. Why does it have to go to the mayor's office? I don't understand. So I don't want it to go to the mayor's office.
Motion? Go ahead, Peter. Councilor Napolitano.
Thank you. I myself, I understand the intent behind this is to keep superfluous things off the calendar. And with a larger city council, I can definitely see the need to maintain some control over that. Honestly like to see with the smaller, single body now, try to, to work it through in the old process with the maintenance list. Let's see what's happening first. I mean, I do have an issue with sending every request strictly to the mayor's office without the ability to be able to do anything formal about it. There's a lot of things can happen, and again, I don't mean any disrespect, but the thing is that, having an issue documented that you need it resolved, so there's a time, so the clock starts ticking on it, I think is important. Being told that we have to try to make other efforts first, we all work full-time, we all have other things going on in the course of the day. Sometimes that's just not possible or feasible. So, I mean, at this point, without having to see this, without this body in its new incarnation, following the footsteps of the older format, which, again, bogged down the worksheet, I'd still like to see us work it the way we had done it traditionally. And let's see, let our own professionalism, our own, experience dictate whether or not we're being excessive or not. If, in that case, the mayor's office feels that this body, as a single body, is still putting an excessive amount of items on the worksheet, I'd be very interested in entertaining those changes at that time. But at this stage, I don't agree that that's necessary. So I also agree that we should be deleting that. Let the things go on the worksheet the way they traditionally did, and that way there we have some documentation and a follow-up.
Councilor McGonigal.
Mr. Chairman, I don't want to reinvent the wheel, but I am all for not putting anything that, we can call a department head on, no matter which department it is, Board of Health, anywhere, calling them instead of putting it on the calendar. But I don't see the big deal, and I'm being very honest over here, and/or the mayor's office. I've served under 3 mayors, and I've called department heads up where it wasn't answered quick enough. And once you do call the mayor's office, it does help you to get that resolved, that issue pretty quick. So I don't see what the big deal is. Once again, all maintenance requests shall be first reported to appropriate city departments and/or the mayor's office. You don't get a response by a department head. You know what I mean? The best thing to do is, call the mayor's office and say, and I'm sure whoever the mayor is going to answer that city councilor and, and help him out with whatever he needs. So I don't see the big deal about, reinventing the wheel on that. That's why, if I may, Mr. Chair, I didn't understand, we've already voted on it, I don't want to go over it, but I didn't see that in the last one neither, on item 1, but that's just my opinion. It's and/or the mayor's office, so sometimes, we need the mayor to help us out.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to invite up to the podium, Mr. Flood, please.
While he's coming up, Mr. Chairman? While he's coming up?
He is invited.
I just want to point out that if you read this thing, it says, all maintenance requests shall have been first reported to the mayor's office. So if you want to have something done, you don't call up here and have them put it on our maintenance request. You call the mayor's office. That's what it says. All maintenance requests shall have first been reported to the mayor's office. Yes, it does. Read the first paragraph. All maintenance requests. Yes. It's January 2014?
All maintenance requests shall have been first reported to appropriate city departments
Doesn't say that.
and/or the mayor's. Well, this is what this one says. Prior to that. Okay. And which one is this one then? So apparently I need an update. And this one is January 2014, so I don't know which one I have, but apparently I must have the wrong one. With that said, Counselor, I think it's just, you know, it's just simple. Call the department head, and if you have a problem with it, then go to the mayor's office. Then, you know, you should be able to call the mayor, that's all.
I would like to make a motion to change the wording to be placed on the maintenance request section of the city council agenda, or call the mayor's office. So we have both out there. This way it covers us, that we can put it on the maintenance worksheet, make a phone call to the department heads, or call the mayor's office. So we have a little bit of work either way.
On that motion, Mr. Chairman, so I understand this, because I'm confused. What was wrong with this one? Why was this amended?
You got the one that you originally had?
This is the one that's saying January 14th. Mine says that, and what I'm asking this board is this correct? Because I don't even believe you should put it on a calendar unless you have a problem with getting it done. I think most of the stuff that we can get done is you call a department head, and they're all pretty good. They do it for you. You know, all maintenance requests shall have been first reported to the appropriate city department and/or the mayor's office. I think that's appropriate there. You know, whatever that one says that it goes to the mayor's office first, I don't believe that should be the case. I do agree with you, Councilor Hanlon, but I'm trying to make it simple. Call the department head up and say, listen, I've got a problem. I need this fixed. I've got that. And I don't think it's difficult.
You know,
And then, like I said, if you can't get, I mean, John, you know, as the former mayor, I mean, we've called you before, and you've made a call
Sure.
to a department head that says, listen, you know, I've got an alderman or a councilman calling me up, let's straighten this out, and it gets done. So I don't mind that wording.
Well, you know, I've been around for a long time. I've never, ever put anything on one of those lists.
Yeah.
And you're right, what's what I do? I call the department head.
That's simple.
But the thing is that, you know, you put an R on here, now you've got a question of what should you do. Either got to be one way or the other way, and whatever way you want to choose. I just don't, you know, when I was in the mayor's office too, I very rarely got these things. You know, I mean, because it was handled by the group here or whatever it was, and it went along on its request. If there was a problem, somebody would call me on the phone and I'd take care of the problem. But other than that, it just went along, you know, and there's two areas on here that has to be changed too. Mr. Flood pointed it out to me last week that there's another spot too, but we'll talk about that afterwards. But, I don't know.
17A, whenever Dave this was, all maintenance requests shall have been first reported to appropriate city departments.
Okay, is that-
And/or the mayor's office, if you have a problem, you know?
So that's what we want to put on there?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, look at item F also. I don't know if you have an item F, Joe?
No, that's correct. That's the process we'd always used before. That's right.
I'll take that back. Okay.
The proper one that I see here is, in the one that's in your book that was given out, is, all maintenance requests shall have been first reported to the mayor's office prior to appearing on the business agenda. Period. That's the one that's in the books we handed out there.
Yeah.
That's the one that's in there.
All right,
So
so
that's
we want
the
to
proper
revert it
one.
to the,
And what's the proper motion then, Mr. Clerk, to amend that, to put, change
Absolutely.
it to all maintenance requests shall have been first reported?
Whatever the desire of the council is.
To the city departments and or the mayor's office. 17A, Rule 17A to that.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Well, we want to read that before I just want to hear it in its total.
All maintenance requests shall have been first reported to appropriate city department or departments and/or the mayor's office.
Now, do you want that to be done before we have a business calendar? Before the...
I think we should be able to call the department head up
Me too.
anytime.
So we
And
don't
and
want
instead
to...
of putting it on the calendar, and it further states in here that if there is a problem and we can't get it resolved either through the mayor's office or the calendar, then you bring that department head, then you put it on the calendar, you bring the department up before the board.
All right, so once more, if you would, counsel, could you just read that again, exactly what you want, the exact words?
All maintenance requests shall have been first reported to appropriate city departments and/or the mayor's office. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry, it's pretty simple. F.
Now, you're not going to put that on there, appearing...
Yeah, and I like that.
Are we going to take out those words, appearing on the business calendar prior to appearing on the...
No, we're striking out A on our copy and replacing it.
So all we're really doing is adding in, reported to the mayor, to the Department of Departments.
Can I read this for the
Sure.
copy? All maintenance requests shall have first been reported to appropriate city departments and/or the mayor's office prior to appearing on the business. That's the idea here, that
Yeah.
it's reported someplace before you go and put it on the agenda. You can do whatever you want outside of the agenda, it's just saying, give somebody a chance to do something before we put it on the agenda.
Couldn't agree more.
Second that.
That keeps you away from politically motivated items appearing on the agenda, and somebody will get up and say, well, this is already done.
Okay.
That was the idea, that was the intent, that was the only intent of the public to do something.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
I can provide it.
All in favor?
We
on
amending?
the,
Aye. Oh,
I have a question. Are we amending F as well?
no, F doesn't have to be.
Various items should refer to the mayor's office or prospective department.
That's if Bonnie winds up on the agenda, yeah.
But which, right now, it says,
I would recommend that you amend F to say, to take out the mayor's office and to shall be referred to the.
prospective departments, yeah. I'll second that. So,
okay, the moment.
Revert item back, F back to its
Motion to accept the amendment, and first on amendment, we'll take a vote on amendment first.
This is 17A, right? Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, ayes have it. It has been amended and accepted and amended. Okay,
We amend item F, Mr. Chairman, to go back to the original
Well, actually, we don't have to do anything.
Rule.
We're not going to do anything to it, just leave it alone.
no, right now it says mayor's office.
What?
Right now it says mayor's office. We're motioning to amend it to respective department heads.
correct. Its original,
Yeah.
all those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Amended as passed, adopted, proposed. And, clerk, will read, number 3, please?
Item number 3, this is a resolution by Council Rosa DeFlorio to create an ordinance which would prohibit the stealing of trash barrels.
Counselor DeFlorio.
In regards to the, trash barrels, what I'm trying to do is, right now, it's a criminal, offense. I'm trying to make it criminal and non-criminal. Criminal meaning that if someone intentionally goes into your yard and takes your trash barrel, then it should be put in prison. If if the trash barrel happens to be on the sidewalk and someone comes by and just takes it and just puts it in your home, then maybe we can put a fine to that. So I'm gonna ask this board to lay this on the table, and I'm gonna ask you what the ordinance myself.
The motion,
Put that in a
Make a
form of a
motion.
motion to lay item 3 on the table till,
Second.
the council come back with, an ordinance.
motion number three's been, to, suspend, put on the table, suspend it, and, put the rules on the table, on the, put it back to the table. Refer it back to the.
Grant further time.
First, further time, I'm sorry.
Second.
Number 3.
We did that?
All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Been, referred.
Further time?
Further time.
All right, item number 4, this is a resolution by Council Rosa DeFlorio, that rules be established and appropriate distribution of the city council expenses for official city business by city council.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I did not write this, and I was wondering where the one I wrote is. Has that come up, John?
Yeah, when we,
That's the one I wrote? Does anybody have copies of that?
What I would like to do, is for,
Counselor Rosa, Counselor DeFlorio.
I would like to invite the city auditor up next time, and because I really don't know much about municipal finances, about different legally and municipal and non-municipal law. So I would like to get the, opinion of the city auditor to explain to us what it can be used for, what it can't, and everything like the rules and what it can.
I'd like to make a motion to, lay it on the table and invite the city auditor, Richard Fiscay, at the
I'm
next
sorry,
meeting.
why are we inviting the auditor?
Because I want to understand municipal expenses of what they can be spent on and what it can't. And I believe that the city auditor,
This is what's here. This is what it can be spent on. Can't be spent on anything else.
who said that?
I just did. This is the policy. You gotta read the policy.
Who put the policy in effect?
It's not in effect.
It's not in effect yet. There is no policy in effect.
Yeah. He's making a recommendation for policy based
Right.
on, and that's for the committee.
Right.
So
My-
that's-
My
take a look.
question is, I want the city auditor to give me an opinion of if it's legally what to spend it on and what, you can't spend it. We're not auditors. We're not municipal finance people that we can know what we can spend. It's like when you're doing your income taxes. You might be able to do it, but when you're doing more of a business income tax, you need the right person to do it for you, to give you the advice. And I want the advice of the city auditor.
Excuse me, Counselor Sani first.
This way, we can also amend and add to this if needed, that the auditor can let us know what we can add and put in place anything else if we need to add anything more to this, policy, if we're going with this or not. This way, if the auditor, if we have some, other things that we might want to add, we can talk to the auditor and they can let us know what we can do or not.
There's a lot of things that go with it. Who's gonna monitor? Who's gonna monitor money? Who's gonna keep the receipts? Who's gonna have the responsibility of knowing how much each individual is spending and not spending?
Oh.
So this is why I think the auditor would have to have those questions.
Counselor Napolitano.
Thank you. First of all, I have no problem with getting the auditor's opinion. I think we do need the auditor's opinion. What I'm going to motion is that we send a copy of this draft, mark it as draft, send a copy of it down to the auditor, and invite him to our next meeting with his assessment of our recommendation, of this recommendation for the expenses. Okay? And this way here, we'll each have an opportunity to have read over these guidelines prior to that, get our questions in order, so when the auditor comes in, one, he'll be fully up to speed on this recommendation for language. We'll also have an opportunity to present our questions. Okay? So my recommendation, my motion is that we do hold this over, we invite the auditor up, and that we send him a copy of this for his review, so he can give us an assessment and opinion, and answer any other further questions that this body has on that matter.
All in favor?
Mr. Chairman,
No, no,
before you do that,
it's
Mr. Chairman, could I ask, is this from our city clerk? Is this from our city clerk? If I could ask the clerk a couple questions? Michael, these are just excerpts from some cities and towns? Oh, okay,
Exactly, just different ways that different communities handled it throughout the country.
okay,
There were
okay,
few local ones that had anything right.
okay, okay. Yeah, and we've never had one, I know that too, you know, but that's why I wrote this one.
No, that's just bits and pieces from different communities throughout the country, how they handled it.
Okay, okay. Okay, I might make a motion, we also attach this to it, let them know that this is also things that the city clerk has suggested to the tribe.
All in
We'll send them
favor?
both down. Okay?
A second.
Someone's got to second that motion, okay. thank
Second, okay. All in favor?
you. Aye.
Ayes have it. This is to lay on the table to our next meeting and invite the auditor, Mr. Viskey, for his input.
And send them
And
these ahead of
send
time.
him the copy of the audits.
Second.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor? Ayes have it.